What's good, family? Let's talk about my home state, California, the state that's been completely destroyed and is continually being destroyed by incompetent people, incompetent leaders, which I honestly think at this point is being done by design. So let's talk about the gas prices, which will possibly hit close to $10 a gallon, which is insane. So let's check this video out. This isn't good, not good at all. If you're a fellow Californian such as myself, let's get into it.
So here is something that should terrify every single person in California right now. While you are filling up your tank at $4.60 a gallon, thinking that is already insane, the state just set in motion a perfect storm that is going to push gas prices past $6, maybe even $7 a gallon, by next year. I am not talking about some gradual increase over the next decade. I am talking about the next 12 months. This is not speculation anymore. The numbers are in, the refineries are closing, and the new regulations are about to make California the most expensive place to buy gas in the entire world. Not just America. The world. Let me break down exactly what is happening here, because once you understand the situation, you are going to realize why thousands of people are already planning their escape from California. And if you are stuck there, you need to know what is coming so you can prepare. Let's start with what just happened this week. Valero, one of the biggest oil companies in California, just announced they are shutting down their Benicia refinery. That is 145,000 barrels of oil per day, gone. Just
Excuse me. See, back in the day, we had multiple gas refineries. Now we're only down to like I believe it's like 10 or something. 10, 11 fineries. So what has happened? I could tell you what happened is these policies, these regulations that they have out in California, which is totally crazy and insane because we have a bunch of insane people running things. And as a result, it's going to lead to people fleeing, people not being able to afford to even purchase gas, which is just totally and completely insane.
It's like that. This comes right after Phillips 66 said they are closing their Los Angeles refinery by the end of this year. Another 139,000 barrels per day vanished. Between these two closures alone, California is losing about 17% of its entire refining capacity. Nearly 1/5
Wow.
of California's ability to make gasoline is disappearing in the next few months. And here is the kicker. Nobody is building new refineries to replace them. In fact, California has not built a new refinery in decades. The state has gone from 40 refineries in the 80s to just 13 today. After
Okay.
these closures, that leaves maybe 7 or 8 operational refineries.
Somewhat close in the ballpark. That is a lot. That is a lot of refineries, man, that have left the West Coast. And you wonder why we have high gas prices. That is crazy, man. Crazy. 40 to 13. And now we're about to lose to 13. I don't know what to say. And Gavin Newsom is talking about trying to run for president. Dude, this is gonna destroy your before you won't, like I said before, which I think is a joke that this man has the audacity to even want to try to run for president. It's like, who in the hell is going to vote for you when you have people in your own state that don't like you? You don't have the support of your own state. How the hell you think you're going to run for president? And I think the gas prices, along with a whole lot of other stuff, but the gas prices is right up there at the top of the list. This would take you out of the presidency so fast. This is what's going to destroy your chances of even getting close to the White House, which I don't think you will get close, but I just want to put that out there. Anyway, shall we? Let's continue.
He's trying to supply gas for 40 million people. California does not use
This is
regular
insane,
gasoline
man.
like
It's
the rest
crazy.
of America. The state requires a special blend called carbob that is supposed to burn cleaner. Only a handful of refineries in the entire world can make carbob, and that limited supply makes California highly dependent on those facilities. So when California refineries shut down, you cannot just truck in gas from Nevada or Arizona. You literally have to ship it from places like South Korea or India across the Pacific Ocean. The logistics alone are a nightmare. We are talking weeks of transit time and massive shipping expenses that get passed directly to you at the pump. The Energy Information Administration just admitted that California is already importing record amounts of gasoline. In May of this year, they hit over 210,000 barrels per day of imports. That is the highest ever recorded.
Yeah, thank you, Gavin Newsom, and these nut job Democrats. Thank you for the fact that we have to import gas to California when we already have 40 gas refineries. And now we're importing gas to California. Wow. At this point, I don't even know if this is just incompetence, man. I think this is being done by design. I honestly think it's being done on purpose. It's one thing to be incompetent. And I think I've said this before, you in office, you really don't know what you're doing. That's bad enough. But when you get in office and you're this incompetent, everything you do is to undermine the taxpaying citizen, then it leads me to think that this is being done on purpose. And I gotta say, boy, y'all done a good job destroying California, man. You give yourself a round of applause, Gavin Newsom and the Democrats. You reached your goal. You destroyed California. So pat yourself on the back. You burned a bunch of people off their property and stole their land. Pat yourself on the back for that land grab. Destroy black generational wealth in Altadena. I mean, man, should I even continue? The high speed rail that was a complete fraud, stealing from the tax-paying citizen, as stealing the homeless aid. All of this is done on purpose, man. On purpose. It's all done by design. And I think the gas prices is designed to go up because, number one, and I spoke on this before, they don't want people owning the car. They want people on public transportation. They don't want car ownership. They don't even want you owning a house in California. They're anti-home ownership and they're pro renters. So this is what we have to deal with in California. And I believe this is a way to get people out of their vehicles, out of their cars, because they don't want people driving out here. And correct me if I'm wrong.
And that is before these two major refineries close. Once they are gone, California will need to import even more, driving prices through the roof.
This is insane.
Now here is where it gets
Wake
really
up,
insane.
people. Stop voting for these lunatics.
Refineries are shutting down left and right. The California Air Resources Board just passed new amendments to the low carbon fuel standard. called LCFS. According to CARB's own documents, and they tried to downplay this, these new standards are going to add 47 cents per gallon to gas prices in 2025. That's their lowball estimate.
Made
The
no
University
sense.
of Pennsylvania Kleinman Center studied this and said it could be 65 cents immediately and 85 cents by 2030. But even that might be optimistic. Some analysts are saying we could see increases of over $1 per gallon just from this one regulation. And remember, this is on top of California already having the highest gas taxes in America at 61.2 cents per gallon. But that's not all. Assembly Bill X 2-1 just became law, and it forces refineries to keep massive reserves of fuel on hand at all times. Refineries operate on thin margins, and they do not have large storage facilities sitting empty. The law forces them to tie up millions of gallons of fuel in storage, fuel they cannot sell, which costs them millions of dollars. The Western States Petroleum Association warned that this law alone could add 15 to 27 cents per gallon. The law threatens refineries with fines of up to $1 million per day if they do not maintain these reserves. Phillips 66 announced their closure 2 days after the law was signed. Valero waited a few months, but the message was clear. California has become impossible to do business in if you are an oil company. A study from the University of Southern California just came.
And you want to know the cold part about this, people? You want to know the cold part about this, fam? Is this isn't just going to hurt, the regular person, day-to-day person such as yourself, your parents, your kids, your grandkids, you know what I'm getting at. This is gonna destroy the construction industry. It's gonna destroy the service industry, because how are you gonna get food to the grocery stores if gas is so high that a lot of these companies won't even be able to even afford to keep gas in their service vehicles. So that's gonna do major damage on the service industry. You probably won't get food to your grocery stores. It may take days. So this is going to be a huge domino effect, man. It's going to hurt the farming industry. So this is just, it's not good, man. It's not good. California will become like Mad Max Road Warrior type of scenario. This is what California is going to eventually become. People fighting for gas, and I'm from the '80s, so I had to throw that in there. They don't make movies like that anymore, but seriously, that's what it's going to lead to. It's you honestly think these big companies will be able to keep their service vehicles filled with gas at $10 a gallon? And a lot of these trucks use diesel. That's even more expensive. Doesn't look good. Does not look good at all.
Out, showing that the average California driver is going to need to earn an extra $600 to $1,000 per year just to break even with 2024 gas prices. That is after taxes. So we are talking about needing maybe $1,500 in gross income just to pay for these increases. For a family with 2 cars,
then we got to deal with a gas tax. I forgot that.
Just for the privilege of driving to work in
It's
California.
crazy.
This assumes you are driving an average of 12,000 miles per year. If you commute from the suburbs into Los Angeles or San Francisco every day, you are looking at much higher costs. Some people are going to be spending an extra $2,000 or $3,000 per person per year just on gas. The import situation is about to become a massive problem. California's special gasoline blend can only be made by certain refineries. There is a Phillips 66 refinery in Washington that can make some. There are a couple of refineries in South Korea and India that can do it. That is basically it. So now California is completely dependent on foreign countries and shipping companies to supply its gas. And when there is a shortage, or a shipping delay, or a storm in the Pacific, boom, prices explode overnight. The state has literally zero control over its own fuel supply anymore. This kind of dependency is unprecedented for an American state, especially one with the fifth largest economy in the world.
Yeah, see, and this is why California has two Republicans leading in the governor's race. It's because of stuff like this. People are getting tired of these Democrats and these liberals and their crazy policies. And this is why, we have two. And I'm not even saying Republicans are going to fix this. I'm not being that naive, but a lot of Californians are fed up and done, completely done with the Republic. I mean, not the Republicans. A lot of Californians are completely fed up with the whole liberal ideology and the whole Democrat stronghold out here in California. So this is the reason why you have two Republicans now leading the leading for governor, man. And people are fed up. People are tired. People are fed up. People are tired of the high taxes, the high grocery costs, the homelessness. And the Democrats in California, they have nobody to blame but themselves for this. Although, they want to blame everything on Trump, and I'm not saying Trump is perfect. I don't put all my hopes in any party, but yeah, y'all Democrats, man, y'all did this, y'all did this to yourselves, man. So it wouldn't surprise me if California becomes a red state, and this right here would definitely make California become a red state, because if people can't get their gas, man, it's like, oh, there's problems. There's big problems. And yeah, I don't see it looking good for the Democrats in California. Don't see it.
Something that nobody wants to talk about is the mystery gasoline surcharge. A UC Berkeley economist named Severin Borenstein discovered that since 2015, Californians have been paying an extra
Yep, California might get a Republican governor
taxes or environmental
because because of stuff like this.
It is just extra money that disappears into the system. This mystery surcharge has cost California drivers over $59 billion in the last decade. $59 billion. The professor calculated that Californians are losing about $20 million every single day to this unexplained surcharge every day. And instead of investigating where this money is going, more regulations keep getting added that make the problem worse. Let me tell you what this actually looks like on the ground right now. In Los Angeles, people are already paying over $5 a gallon at many stations. In San Francisco, some places are charging close to $6 a gallon. And this is before the new regulations fully kick in and before the refineries close. By next summer, when both Phillips 66 and Valero are offline, when the LCFS changes are in full effect, and when the storage requirements are being enforced, we could easily see $8 a gallon gas in California. $8. Add up all the increases. 47 cents from LCFS, 27 cents from storage requirements.
And then you add the gas taxes on top of that. My God, man. My goodness. People in California. The ones who are delusional and just refuse to deal with reality. How are you going to feel paying almost $10 a gallon, $8, $9? Are you cool with that? You honestly You honestly cool with that? You good with that? You might be good with it now, but when reality hits, trust me, your whole tune is gonna change. It's gonna change. You might want to think about um, maybe doing something you might feel uncomfortable doing, and that's not voting Democrat. That's You may have to vote Republican to, get some things changed and get things done because what obviously the way you're voting and what you're doing is not helping you. It's making things worse. So you might have to come out of your comfort zone, and you may have to do something that may be completely and totally against what you would normally do, and that's voting voting totally opposite of what you're used, or what I should say, how you're used to voting. You may have to do the complete opposite to get something changed and done. Because, like I said, running your head into a brick wall isn't going to make it better. It's going to make it worse. So just think about that.
50 cents from the refinery closures reducing supply, 30 cents from increased import costs, and you are looking at over $1.50 in increases on top of current prices. And that is if
That's
everything
crazy.
goes smoothly. Diesel prices are going to get hit even harder. CARB admits their new rules will add 59 cents per gallon to diesel prices.
This gonna really
Every
hurt
truck
the
that
service
delivers food to
industry
your
right
grocery
here.
store runs on diesel. Every construction vehicle
Facts.
that builds houses runs on diesel.
Just talked about
Every
that.
farm tractor that grows your food runs on diesel. When diesel prices explode, the cost of everything explodes. Food, construction, shipping, everything.
Facts.
This isn't just about what you pay at the pump. This is about the total collapse of affordability in California. The California Chamber of Commerce warned these new laws would create fuel shortages and increase prices for consumers and businesses. Labor unions representing refinery workers said they would lead to job losses and safety issues. Even the governors of Arizona and Nevada sent letters warning that California's regulations would cause fuel shortages and price spikes in their states too. California is doing all of this while importing more electricity than almost any other state because its energy infrastructure cannot keep up with demand. The state is literally becoming dependent on other states and countries for both fuel and electricity. It is a complete surrender of energy independence. The state that once symbolized American car culture, where the highway system was pioneered, is creating conditions where ordinary people cannot afford to drive. Gas prices in California are already about $1.50 higher than the national average. After these changes, they could be $3 or $4 higher. Imagine pulling up to a gas station in California and paying $7 a gallon while people in Texas are paying $3. That is the future California.
That's what I was saying. California gas prices are going up. You go to some of these other states, man, they paying like less than like $3 a gallon. And so in some states, less than three. While everybody else's gas prices are going down, California's gas prices are going up. So, my fellow Californians, man, y'all need to stop voting for these Democrats, man. Just stop, man. But it's not just the voters. We have a rigged system. A lot of these Democrats in California have it rigged, and they cheat to stay in office. Let me repeat it. California does not have fair elections. California's elections are rigged so these corrupt Democrat politicians can remain in office because a lot of people in California want these people out of office. Facts. And Notice the liberal media out here in California aren't talking about this. You don't see this on your late night news, evening news. This should be all over the TV. This should be everywhere. They should be ringing the alarm about this, but they're hush hush and they're keeping it quiet. Well, number one, they don't want people panicking. Number two, it's going to make the Democrats in California look bad, which they already look bad, but they don't want more damage done to them and their reputation. So I just find it amazing that that they're not talking about this. But we know why. We know why. But let's continue.
California is creating right now. And once these refineries close, they are not coming back. It costs billions of dollars and takes years to build a new refinery. And no company would invest that money in California with its current regulatory environment. The state has essentially created an irreversible situation with its fuel supply, and consumers are going to be the casualties. The working class is going to feel this the hardest. The people who drive trucks for a living, the nurses commuting to hospitals, the teachers driving to schools, the construction workers, the delivery drivers.
Yep.
They are the ones who are going to be destroyed by this. These are the people who cannot just buy a Tesla or work from home. They need their vehicles to make a living, and they are about to get priced out of their own livelihood.
So more people will be leaving California. You know, the mass exodus will continue. It's just gonna get worse. It's gonna get a lot worse, man, before it even gets better. Matter of fact, I don't even know if at this point I don't even know if California can even be fixed, man. I mean, imagine coming in as governor and having to like try to turn all of this around. It's gonna take a long time to get California back to where it was. I say it's gonna take at least close to a good decade to undo all the crazy policies that these Democrats and liberals put in, which is a hell of a lot of them. To undo all of that, it's definitely gonna take some time. It's gonna take some time to turn this around. I mean, the damage in California is so severe, man, that I can't even think about it.
Once gas hits $6 or $7 a gallon, it is not just about the cost anymore. It is about availability. Some gas stations will simply close because they cannot get supply. Others will have shortages and run out of gas for days at a time. California is creating conditions for fuel shortages like you see in developing nations.
All done on
gas
purpose.
Stations with signs saying no fuel available for days on end could become common. The infrastructure that has been built over decades is collapsing in real time. By this time next year, California's gas crisis will not be a prediction. It will be a full-blown catastrophe. For millions of Californians, it will be too late to do anything about it except pay the price or leave the state entirely. The gas crisis is not coming.
I might leave.
It is here,
Might
and
leave
it is
the
about
state.
to explode.
Yeah, fam. So this is what we have to deal with out here on the good old West Coast. People say, "Well, Deshaun, why don't you move? Why don't you leave?" And I thought about it because I have family in other states. I have family in Texas. You know, I lived in Georgia. I had a house out in Georgia. Why I sold it and moved back out here was the dumbest, craziest thing I've done. But it is what it is. But this is what we have to deal with. And it's all because of the policies that these people push. The high taxes, the we don't even want to mention the high homeless rate. California has the highest poverty rate. Everything that's negative, we have the highest. We rank the highest in. So, um, I do see somewhat of a little hope in California. I'm not going to 100% rule it out, but yeah, there's a lot for the next governor that comes in, man. You got your hands full. That's all I can say. I take my hat off to you. You got your hands full. Um, hopefully we cannot. Hopefully we don't get another far leftist or another Democrat in office. That's something that California does not need. And I honestly feel that the Democrats in California are in big trouble, man, because a lot of people, as I said earlier, a lot of people in California are fed up with the Democrat stronghold. And this is the reason why California now has two Republicans in the lead. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Hopefully, there's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel in California. You know, I'm gonna try to remain a little I'm gonna try to remain positive, man. A little positive. Not going completely. I'm not gonna throw the towel in just yet. But if it does, yeah, I will move up out of here. So that's it, man. Let me know what you think. It's pretty pathetic. Um, yeah, this is where we are. So I'm out. Peace.